Hi guys, so today's video is going to be talking about the MacBook Pro that Apple recently updated and is currently available for those that did an order 2 or 3 weeks ago. The end of October, Apple done a keynote event about the MacBook Pro. You get it at 13-15 inch. You also get it with non-touch bar and a touch bar if you want it. But obviously the non-touch bar, you can go to an Apple store straight away. As I do this video, plenty of stock. The touch bar is a ordered configuration which takes about 4 to 5 weeks. Now the thing that's bothering me about all these reviews that's out there is everyone seems to be up in arms about the USB-C connector. In other words, this, okay? This little guy right here is what people seem to be getting a little bit worked up about, and I can understand but not understand, and let me explain why. Now, I've used this since July. I ordered this from Apple. I went for the fully spec'd out version, so mine was the 1.3 that I think turbo boost up to 3.1. It had the 8 gigs of RAM, and I also wanted the 512 flash storage as well. So I future-proofed myself, because if I buy something like this, I expect it to last 3 to 5 years. Apple devices can keep going on and on forever. One person I know has had theirs for 8 years and it's only now starting to creak, but I think you do pay a lot of money for their products, and obviously the Apple hardware and software, they do run nicely together, but I do appreciate it's a lot of money. So I bought this in July. I did all my vlogs and video editing on it, so I've gone from Sony Vegas to Final Cut Pro. So a reasonable transition, not too bad, but what I liked about Final Cut Pro was the hardware and software it worked together. It just worked so well. The rendering times got reduced down to at least half of what I was doing on my PC. And my PC is more higher spec than this. So work it out. I think it's really Apple's hardware, software, it just works. Honestly, it just works. That's probably why iPhones are so bloody good. Not that I'm an Apple fanboy, but they work. So now obviously one of the things that's causing the controversy is obviously the USB-C ports, which I did mention, and I want to just touch base with it because obviously the MacBook Pros had all the ports built in, and I do get that, understand that, especially the SD card reader and the HDMI port, so it is quite handy to have that. However, it's not a life changer, because if I can do all my video editing using my Canon G7X, my GoPro, and using a micro SD card, a standard SD card, and then exporting or rendering my videos out to an external USB drive, how have I been able to do that for the past 4 or 5 months? And the answer is simple. Everyone's complaining about you need dongles. I just use one. I have just one dongle that I'm using, nothing more than this. Everything I do is on this one single dongle. I will put a link in the description as well. You've got your 2 USB 3 ports, your obviously your micro and your standard SD, obviously Ethernet, which is perfect, so when you're out and about, USB-C for another USB device or power, and obviously you've then got your HDMI connector. You plug it all in and it works. There's nothing complicated about it, and I get it that people want it all in one device, and I'm sure in the future we'll probably have that, but for now I think USB-C is the way everyone's going. Remember when Apple changed the 30-pin connector on the iPhones and the iPods to Lightning? Everyone was in uproar that it would never work. And also I'm aware that obviously Apple do a Lightning connector to USB-C, and you can get that for this, but why would you do that? Just sync wirelessly. I think when Apple came up with this, I think they were looking at everything to be over the air. So I do get it, and obviously I do get about the dongles, but I don't think you're in dongle city. As I saw a couple of videos that saying you had a bag of dongles. Disregard that, because I've paid using my own money for this. I've paid for my own money using that, and if it didn't work, I wouldn't be here today saying how good it is. So I think the MacBook Pro might be getting a bit of a mixed reaction, and I think it's purely because it's the USB-C that's causing a lot of the stir. When you actually look at the box itself, it's actually a damn well fine machine. It seems to perform pretty damn good. Am I interested in getting one? Yes, I am interested in getting one. Will I get one? I hope so if Santa's good to me, and if not, then I'll pick one up later on maybe, but for right now, the standard 12-inch MacBook is absolutely fine. I'm not in Dongle City, I can take it around. The battery life on this is excellent as well. It's fanless, it doesn't heat up, and even when I'm rendering a 4K video, and I have done 4K videos, they've worked fine. There's been no issue at all. If you need to see some examples of that, I'm more than happy to throw it out there, but don't get caught up in this USB-C dilemma. I think it's the direction we're going. GoPro has started with their USB cameras, so they've gone from USB to USB-C. In fact, they were micro, if I remember, or mini micro. I can't remember now, but they are going down the USB-C route, and I think in time more vendors will do exactly the same thing. In fact, this turned up yesterday, the SanDisk 128, which is a USB-C and also USB 3. So that's 128 gigs, okay, which I can then put in my Mac, or maybe if Santa's good to me, might put it in my MacBook Pro, but I don't know. Anyway, that's it. That's all it was. Sort of like a little rant, but it was basically to get across to you that USB-C isn't as bad as what it is. I understand MacBooks had all the ports built in. In the future, will that happen? Possibly, but for right now, it seems to be USB-C is the way that everyone's going. So that's it. That's it. Am I happy with this? Too right. Absolutely. Portability wise, it's light, £2, and it's great. So I get to do everything I want to do on here, apart from gaming, which is the PC, which is obviously what I do for custom zombies. But in terms of productivity, work, you can't go wrong with something like that. So if you weren't looking for a MacBook Pro, look at a MacBook, because it will suit some people. If you've got questions about it, then ask. If you've got any queries about it, ask me the question, because from a real world experience I can tell you if it works or not. I know Adobe, if you've got Adobe Premiere, don't even try using it with that. I think Apple's hardware and software just works so well together. So that's my conclusion. I hope you liked the video. If you've got any questions, comments below. Give the video a like, because that's always appreciated. Share the video as well, that's always appreciated as well. Until next time.